Oh, hi viewers. I'm Paul Dvorak, editor of Wind Power Engineering magazine. You know, the wind industry moves fast enough to make it worthwhile to pause and think about what's transpired in the last few months. Take the recent Wind Power 2011 trade show in Anaheim. Almost 3 days of wandering the show floor, several trends became clear. Since all good things come in threes, here are the 3 trends I spotted. First, the push is to taller towers. 100 meters is the new norm, according to one tower manufacturer, and the ideas were echoed in several places. It makes sense. Not long ago, the standard tower height was about 60 meters. But a few years ago, the National Renewable Energy Lab and a Seattle-based firm 3Tier surveyed the winds across the U.S. at 80 meters and found them considerable. Now, turbine OEM worthy, some would say. Of course, if turbines work well at 80 meters, they'll work even better at 100 meters. And height improvements won't stop there. The April issue of Wind Power Engineering magazine, we published a story on a concrete tower base that reaches up some 30 meters. And on top of that, designers plan to mount conventional steel towers for hub heights of 130 meters. That's pretty high. This is the Atlas CTB, that's a concrete tower base from Tyndall Corporation. And there are several other versions of this hybrid tower on the market. Some news out of Europe reports towers up to 140 meters. That makes sense because the winds across Europe are generally lower than they are in the U.S. Our second trend deals with larger blades for larger rotors. 104 and 107 meter diameter rotors were mentioned. Several OEMs announced plans to build turbines with these rotors capable of generating 2.3 to 2.4 megawatts. Now, turbines of this size could be erected in places with low wind speeds, or lower than the Great Plains at least, like Ohio and possibly states farther south. And a third trend has to do with the high cost of design and the higher cost of manufacturing. I'm sort of fudging on this one. But here are 2 companies to mention that have made some significant developments, but prefer to license their plans rather than manufacture them. This first company, called Air Genesis, has developed a turbine, it says, capable of 10.7 megawatts. That's a considerable figure. They've not revealed a whole lot, but the design involves using 2 rotors, one mounted fore and aft of a nacelle, presumably turning in opposite directions. The company spokesman I talked with says the design has been examined by a government agency and found no flaws in the concept. Okay. If you go to the website, airgenesis.com, excuse me, it's airgenesiswind.com, you'll see a concept drawing and a table with a few calculated values. The second company I want to mention here has built a continuously variable transmission. The company, VMT Technologies in Provo, Utah, says the transmission uses gears with teeth constantly engaged at varying ratios. Now, exactly how it works is difficult to figure out from just a few drawings on its website, but the company engineers have devised a way to, and these are my words, expand a gear to add or remove a tooth. Now, the inventor, Gary Lee, says it's an infinitely variable transmission that needs no clutch or torque converter. It's constantly engaged. And one advantage is that it can be scaled up to the megawatt range, so it could be used as a variable speed gearbox in a wind turbine. With ratio adjustments coming from the transmission, the turbine OEM could get rid of some of the power electronic equipment and transformers in the nacelle. We'll see. Their website is moongears.com. And like Air Genesis, VMT doesn't want to manufacture transmissions, it just wants to license them and design them. So those are my observations from the last month or so in the wind industry. What trends did you see?